Well, hello there guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ebba, and this is going to be a start of a new series on the channel called A Journey to 1,000 Pounds. Don't worry, it's not going to be me trying to eat my way up to 1,000 pounds. This is going to be more focused on a bit of bodybuilding and primarily weightlifting. So currently, I'm in an 8-month bulking journey, halfway through an 8-month bulking journey, which started in September and will end in April. And for the next 4 months, I want to shift my focus more towards powerlifting and flexibility. And I'll go through a quick summary clip, which will show you everything you need to know about how we're going to go about documenting the journey, what's our goal, how we're going to diet, how we're going to work out, and all that. But then afterwards, we'll go through a baseline kind of video where I'll go through a quick voiceover for the yoga or full body stretch or flexibility. And then we'll go through a bench and a deadlift in terms of attempting PR attempts. And and we'll close it off by listing our baseline basically for everything. And this is going to be like more of a prelogue to the series. The actual videos for the proper series is going to start in January. But yeah, with all that being said, let's go right into the summary clip. I'll see you guys there. All right. So guys, look under the summary clip, and the summary clip will be discussing two major parts. The first part is discussing what's our goal. The second part is going to be how we're going to go about documenting this journey. So let's get into the first part, which is what's our goal. Well, first of all, I'm currently halfway through an 8-month bulking journey, which started in September and will end in April. And this is being done completely natural. It's just protein supplements, creatine, and vitamin supplements being taken. Since we're halfway through, I'm kind of tweaking and changing my main focus towards two things for the next 4 months, which is going to consist of powerlifting and flexibility. So I want to greatly improve in these two areas. So let's go ahead and specify our goals in these two areas. The first one is powerlifting. For powerlifting, I'm currently lifting 860 pounds combined between my 3 main lifts, which is squats, bench, and deadlift, with my bench being 225 pounds, my deadlift being 335 pounds, and squats being 280 pounds. And these are 1 rep max lifts basically. And the goal by the end of the 4 months is to get to 1,000 pounds lifted between these 3 main lifts. So how are we going to get there? Well, to get there, we're going to break it down into two major aspects of any physical endeavor, which is going to be my training and my diet. So let's start with the diet. For the diet, I'll be eating at a caloric surplus for the next 4 months. I'm trying to bulk as well, so which is great. So it kind of comes hand in hand. But I'll be trying to gain a kilo of body weight per month, sorry, not per week, per month for the next 4 months. So currently I'm at 86 pounds as of December 29th, 2023. And by the end of April, I want to be 90 kilograms. And the other thing is going to be protein. We're trying to be consuming about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, which is a recommended amount if you want to put on proper size. And we're also going to be consuming 5 grams of creatine every single day, and as well as taking some vitamin supplements, and of course making sure I sleep at least 8 hours every night to make sure I am recovered and the muscles getting built. So that's my diet. So in terms of my training plan, we'll be doing a push-pull leg split with the minimum rest period between these splits of 2 days with a maximum rest period of 4 days. So if I hit push on Monday, at the earliest I'll hit pull on Thursday, and at the latest I'll hit it on Saturday. The reason for this large amount of rest period is because of the training methodology that I follow of high intensity training, popularized by Arthur Jones and later on by great bodybuilders such as Mike Menser and Dorian Yates and Tom Platz and so on. And with this training methodology, we're going to try to do very, very low sets, 1 set or 2 sets at a maximum, and push each set to absolute failure as much as you can possibly do through the utilization of drop sets. And with this training methodology is going to take a lot of stress on the body, and especially on the central nervous system. Therefore, you're going to need proper and adequate amount of rest to make sure I'm properly recovered before my next training session. And that's why there's a large rest period between our splits basically. And we'll always start each of our splits, either push pull legs with the compound exercises, compound free weight exercises, and then we'll move on to machine and isolation exercises. So for example, for push, I'm going to start with a bench press. So I'm going to do 2 to 3 sets of heavy bench press, and then I'll move on to machine and isolation workouts. And I'll just pop up a screenshot of my actual training exercises and routines and everything. And here is it for push, here is it for pull day, and then here it is for our legs. So that's going to be our training routine and actual sets and reps we're going to be doing in the gym. I usually don't count my reps. I just go, again, as I said, to failure, and whatever those reps are is what I hit for the day. But yeah, along with that, since we're trying to do powerlifting, we're going to focus on the 3 main aspects of improving powerlifting numbers. The first part is obviously going to be technique. So the technique for the squats, for the deadlifts, for the bench press is going to be very critical in terms of just improving the numbers without having to recruit more muscle or build more muscle. And then we'll do this through the recording of myself while I'm at the gym, and through me watching the recording and seeing my technique and my form, I can tweak it and improve it as I go along. So the second main aspect of powerlifting is going to be hypertrophy to improve the numbers. And as I said, this will be done through the principles of high intensity training plus progressive overload plus proper rest and nutrition. And following these principles, we should be able to build muscle as we go along these 4-month bulking periods. So that's our goal for hypertrophy. So the third aspect of improving powerlifting numbers is going to be neural adaptation, and this just basically comes to your body's ability to recruit muscle when you're doing heavy lifts. And the way to improve this is obviously just to do low rep, heavyweight exercises on the 3 main compound lifts, which I'm trying to improve on, and do them for 3 to 5 reps, as I said, with heavyweight, proper form. And the more I do this, the more my brain and the neurons fire properly to recruit more muscle fibers that I have, basically. So those are the 3 aspects of powerlifting we're trying to improve on, and hopefully with these techniques we should be able to hit 1,000 pounds by the end of the 4-month bulking journey. So with powerlifting out the way, now let's move on to the goals for flexibility. So in terms of flexibility, our goal is to do 30-minute stretches, full body stretches, every night before we go to bed. And during the stretches, our goal is to have complete flexibility on these 5 major stretches by the end of the journey. So we want to unlock complete flexibility to where we can do it with full mobility for all these 5 stretches. And the 5 stretches that I'm trying to unlock complete flexibility on are: number 1 is splits, number 2 is standing head to knee stretches, number 3 is the pancake, number 4 is the reclining hero stretch, number 5 is the pigeon pose. So these 5 stretches are very critical to us. Those are the only ones we're going to be tracking with the video, but I'll also be doing other stretches along with it as well. It's not just going to be these 5 stretches, but these are going to be our focus. So yeah, we'll just track the progress for this as well as we go along for the journey. So let's go through part 2, which is going to be how we're going to go about documenting this journey. So we're going to be going about it by recording 3 videos a month. So 1 for push, 1 for pull, and 1 for legs. And in these videos, each video will contain 1, an intro clip at the start, number 2, the summary clip, which you're just watching right now, and thirdly is going to contain a 1 rep max attempt on each of our 3 compound lifts, depending on which day we're doing, obviously, along with at least 1 working set. So that's all it's going to include. It's not going to include any extra workouts afterwards. Therefore, there's not going to be any machine or isolation workouts included in the vlogs. If you want to watch those, I have previous videos that I've posted of gym vlogs, so you guys can watch that. So it has everything included in there. But for the next 4 months, we're just going to be focusing on the 3 main lifts in terms of the videos. And PS, I just want to note that I will only be doing 1 rep max attempts during the days I record. And lastly, just a few more points to take away. Number 1 is we're going to be doing a flexibility update on the 3rd video of every month, the last video of every month, which is going to be the leg days, where we'll go through our 5 major stretches and see how it's evolved over a monthly period. And another thing I want to note is that in April, instead of doing 3 gym vlogs, we're going to be doing 4. The 4th one is just going to be like a finale kind of thing, where I'll take 10 days off prior prior to actually going in the gym, and then we'll do our final attempts for all 3 lifts and see if we actually hit our 1,000-pound goal. So that's everything, and yeah, that was a lot to go through, so let's just do a very quick recap of the summary clip itself in terms of the bullet points. So number 1 is that our goal is to reach 1,000 pounds lifted between our 3 main lifts, and also gain complete flexibility in terms of our 5 major stretches. So number 2 is that we're going to be using YouTube to document this journey, where we'll be posting 3 videos a month, with the last videos of every month containing a flexibility update, and each video pertaining to push, pull, or legs. And the last month in April, we're going to be doing 4 videos instead of 3, with the 4th one being like a finale update, where we'll try to attempt our 1,000 pounds lifted between our 3 main lifts in the same day, as well as doing the final flexibility update. And we'll also do a quick body show of different poses and the circumference measurement update to see how we've evolved over the last 8 months and see how our numbers have improved. And yeah, that's everything in terms of the summary. And we'll go on to the lifting session now. So yeah, I'll see you guys there.
So guys, welcome to the gym session. The first part of the gym session is going to be a full body stretch routine. Again, as I said, the full body stretch routines will generally take place at the end of every month. So the first 2 videos of January will not contain a stretch routine basically. And yeah, for the past 4 months, one thing I've been struggling with is consistency. So I think just having it part of my night routine in terms of like doing it before I go to bed, I'm slowly making it a habit to where it's just natural now. I'm like slowly becoming natural to where if I don't do it, I don't feel right. So, and also having me recording and specifying my goals in terms of where I want to reach in terms of flexibility will make me more accountable, and will force my ass basically to just stretch every night. And we might start with 30 minutes, but in the future we might even evolve into a good 45 minutes to an hour stretching, depending on how far along we are in our progress. But yeah, in these videos we're going to be focusing primarily on obviously the 5 major stretches, but we're going to skip through the other ones way quicker. And yeah, the first one of the 5 major stretches that I'm trying to improve on is going to be the pancake over here, as you guys can see. And the goal of this is obviously just to have my torso lay flat on the floor as long with my legs played out as it is, and my hands in the front. And yeah, I'm very far away in terms of reaching full mobility for this one. So yeah, I might not be able to do the full the full pancake, but the closer we get, the better. But yeah, after that, the second one I think in this clip is the reclining hero. So the reclining hero, as you guys can see, is just me being able to basically lay flat on my knees. This might be a bit dangerous for the knees depending on how hard you push, so you got to be a bit careful in terms of feeling your way in. But as you guys can see, I'm not too far away, so I might be able to reach full mobility actually on this one by the end of the 4 months. But yeah, I think yeah, this is way better than the pancake stretch for me for sure. And now we move on to the pigeon pose. Obviously this is not the pigeon pose, this is a 1990 stretch. Just because I can't do the pigeon pose right now, so I'm trying to slowly push this leg backwards as I get more stretch in the hip adductors over here. But yeah, I'm just my glutes are a bit tight right now, that's why I'm making sure this is flexible before I start pushing this leg back. But I've been starting to push it back during my stretch routines at night, so yeah, hopefully we might be replicating somewhat of a pigeon pose by the end of the 4 months. Next we're going to go on to the front split. I know this is more for lunge and a hip flexor stretch right now, but slowly going to evolve into a front split. So that's my goal eventually. But right now I'm just making sure the hip flexors are stretched enough, because if I try to do a front split, I'm going to be so high up. It's going to look like a equilateral triangle, because I'm so stiff in that region. So yeah. But yeah, now we're trying to stretch and get ourselves ready for the side split. In terms of the side split, I'm way ahead in terms of my progress compared to the front split. And this one, obviously, I think I might be able to hit a full side split by the end of the 4 months, so that would be great. And next, we're going to go on to some hamstring stretch, the head to knee stretch, standing head to knee stretch. And obviously, the goal of this is to have the head touch the knees by the end. I think I might just be about to get away with this one. I'm not too far away. So yeah, in terms of the stretches, so that is it. I'm just going to finish off with the quad stretch and the calf stretch for the stretching routine for that day. But yeah, we'll just track our progress and we'll see where we get to in a month's time. now let's move on to the bench press and see if we hit our PR attempt. So hey guys, welcome back. Now we're gonna go through the bench press and deadlift clips. And these ones, the first part is always going to be working our way up to a PR. So we'll do like a PR attempt, and then we'll go through one working set afterwards. And yeah, we'll go through both clips and analyze our form and see how it went. The first part is going to be the bench press. So let's go to that. In terms of the bench press, here we are just warming up with the 185s. And here it's very important, even before the bar comes down, that our legs are somewhat tucked behind our body. They're driven to the ground to create force. And our glutes and our core is completely stiff, like you're trying to take a punch kind of thing. And then your scapula, your back should be try to touch it together as much as you can, and then puff your chest out. That automatically creates like an arc in your spine, and it just creates like a stiff board and has the chest doing the prime moving. And yeah, it's the most like efficient way of lifting basically. And when it comes down for the bar, it is very critical to bring it down on the lower part of the rib cage over here and bring it down in an arc. And then when you come down, because it just creates the most stability on this side compared to over here. So if your elbows are flared out, then it's not going to create stability, and it might encroach into an injury in your shoulders. So it's always nice to bring them down into the most stable position, which is usually around the lower rib cage area. But when you go back up again, you want to emphasize the chest being the prime mover. And the way to do that is trying to kind of like bring it back first and then bring it up. But obviously this is like, I'm exaggerating it a lot. This is very minimal amounts of movement, but get the shoulder part out the way and then have the chest move the rest, because moving the bar back is all shoulder. There's no chest involved. So moving it a bit back first and then bringing it up will have the chest more involved as you push the weight up basically. Let's try to see that as an example in the second warm-up set over here. It's just one rep is all, but it's just working our way up to the PR. But here, as you guys can see, kind of went back a bit first before it started going up. That way again, it's more the chest doing the prime moving. On the way up to a PR, I always try to minimize the amount of fatigue on my muscles. It's just more just to get my body primed for the weight than it is to actually move weight. So I'm trying to just get my body primed to moving heavy weight before I go to the PR attempt basically, and then get my muscles a bit warm and juicy and ready to go. So yeah, now we move on to the PR attempt of 225, which we did hit. I already spoiled it, but in the summary clips that is, but was a long time coming. 225 is like that. The road between 185 and 225 is a long yo-yo of here and there, and you finally get there. You're like, oh, finally, man, it's been a long time coming. So I'm very happy with myself for that. But yeah, after hitting 225, I thought it came up somewhat easily. So I was like, you know what, let's go for a 235 and see if you can hit that as well. And so yeah, we went for an attempt. And as you guys will be able to see here, I'm just getting myself ready, and then yeah, did not want to come back up again. So that was a failed attempt, but hopefully we might be able to hit it in January. But then yeah, after the PR attempt was done, we're just going to do one working set. As I said, we're going to start with the 185s, and then again here it's very important to know, when I do working sets, I try to slow down my reps as much as I can, especially the decentric portion. And even when I come back up, I don't try to completely explode. I want to do control explosion, where I'm not trying to risk any injuries or anything, and I want to contract the muscle all the way up, but I still need a bit of an explosion so that the weight actually comes back up again. And then also have him holding in the stretch position and in the contracted position. That way there's more muscle tear going on and there's more muscle building. And as I said, for the most parts, I'll be using drop sets to basically push each workout to failure. Since I don't have a person there spotting me and then helping me do like extra sets that I can't do by myself, the way I kind of do that is using the drop sets. So we're gonna drop it down to a 145 and then yeah, go again. And again here, it's very controlled. I want to remove as much momentum as possible from the workouts and just have the muscles move everything basically, and keep proper form the whole way through. So yeah. But yeah, I'll just keep going. I'll just speed through it a bit more just to get through it a bit faster. But yeah, there we go. And I think that was it. I barely came up on that one. So yeah, that's it for the bench. Now let's move on to the deadlift. Yeah, here we are with the deadlift attempts. For these ones, you just follow the same structure as squats or the bench press. We just work our way up to a PR and then do one working set, as we said. And here we are. We did the 225s. Now we're going to move on to 335s, 315s. Here, let's just analyze our form as it goes up.
this is perfect position over here. I like how it's going. But then when I start lifting, what happens is my force vector, instead of going the arm facing straight up, the force vector kind of strays off center a bit of the arm, basically, like if you follow this up that way, and that creates inefficient mechanics. So I need to make sure to not bring my glutes up that fast, kind of have them come up simultaneously between my back and my glutes. As you guys can see, it's more of a back action going on here, so I'm not engaging my glutes as much as I should, hence making me less efficient. I could probably lift way more if I like brought my glutes into more into the action, basically. But yeah, and this is the PR attempt of 355. It did come up, as you guys saw, but again, it was the same problem as the 315 with the 355 here. It's more the back action going on. The glutes came in too late, so the way to do that, obviously at the start, is just to engage my lats a bit more, drop my glutes a bit more, and then maybe do some kettlebell hinges just to learn to engage my glutes more in terms of deadlifts. So yeah, the glutes definitely need a lot more engagement, that's for sure. But then yeah, that is it for the deadlift. In terms of the PR, now we're going to go on to the working sets. We're going to do 2 reps on the 315s again. As you guys saw, it is a lot of the back action going on, so we have to make sure to engage the glutes. Like on the lower weights, I do know how to engage my glutes. It's just on the higher weights I lose it, so maybe my glutes are just not strong enough, and I need to build them through machine and isolation exercises so that the deadlift becomes more efficient for me. So we just keep going with the 225s. I think I did around 10 reps on this one. So, but yeah, as you guys can see on this one, again, it's just more of the back action going on. It's just making sure next time I will have it in mind to get the glutes more engaged. And that's the nice thing about recording yourself as well, in a sense, where you get to see your actual weaknesses, because when you're lifting, you can't see shit. So, well then guys, that is it for the deadlift session. Unfortunately, we did not record a squat session, but our squat PR is 280 pounds. Which gives us a total combined weight of 860 pounds between our 3 main lifts as of December 2023. So we'll see how we fare in January, but yeah, I'll see you guys for the next gym vlog in January. But I'll be posting other content apart from gym vlogs as well, so I want this channel not to be niched into any category. So yeah, stay tuned for that as well. But thank you very much for watching the video. If you can hit like, subscribe and all that, it would be great. But yeah, see you guys in another video. All right, peace out.